Hello and welcome to this tutorial on Python. Today we will be looking at creating a DATETIME library. Now what a DATETIME library is essentially a list where each item in the list has a corresponding date or time associated with it. A great example of this is a customer services department where you may have a target of responding to people within a 24-hour or 3-day period. What you can do is you can look inside a DATETIME library to see who you have to respond to in order to keep hitting that 24-hour or 3-day target. Now, let's get back to the code. So, one thing I want to make you aware of in the code is that for each item in this code, it will correspond to a new day. However, with some minor tweaks, you can make sure that each block of items will correspond to the same day, or each block of items correspond to a different day, so that you can log multiple items within the same day. So I don't know if you're aware that when most people think of date and time, they probably go to the DATETIME module or they go to the time module in Python. But Pandas also has a DATETIME function within it. So all we're going to be doing today is importing a Pandas module, and then we're going to be creating a separate task list. Then we'll be calling the DATETIME function within the Pandas module, and then putting those two lists together to create a DATETIME library. So let me zoom in. So let's firstly import Pandas as PD. And then what we're going to do is then have our task. I'm just going to be quicker here and import the task I had below. So I've got the code here below because I don't want to spend ages debugging in case there's a mistake or anything like that. So that hazard is because Pandas is imported but not used. So the next thing to do is to call our DATETIME function within Pandas. So let's do this. Datelist equals pd dot and then DATETIME, or date range even, and then within date range we're going to call our DATETIME. So pd dot DATETIME, and that time is today, and then we're going to list it. One thing I missed out was how many DATETIME entries we want. So we want our entries to correspond to the same number of items in the list. So that is exactly what we're going to do, is we are going to have n as our length of the list. So our tasks list is eat, sleep, rave, repeat. So 4 items. And then we have also, that means we have now got 4 items as a DATETIME. So now we have our 2 lists. So let's print our date list, see what we have at the moment. So there we have. So if you look at my output below my face, you can see we have 4 different timestamps. So always good to have a print check, because if there was an error, you know it's within this rather than within the whole code. Next thing to do is to zip our date list and our tasks list together. And we're going to do that by simply doing list zip. Now we could choose either whether we want to have our tasks first or our timestamp first. I would like to have our timestamp first, and then we're going to call that TST, timestamp table, short for timestamp table. So let's print that, see where we get up to. Let's see what we're doing. So notice in the second output we have our timestamp with each item in the list. Now that doesn't look like a list to me, so what I want to do next is then have each item as a new row. And for that we're going to use a for loop with enumerate to index each item in the list. So for I, let's have the index first actually, in enumerate, and then we're going to call tst, and we're going to print ind I, get rid of that first print, and then let's see what we have. And there we have it. We have our timestamp list with each item in the list on a new row with a new timestamp. Notice that it starts with today on the 7th or the 17th, and it goes up each day, as I mentioned earlier. That is to show that these timestamps do work with new days with the same code. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Check out my other tutorials on my channel, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks very much for watching.